everybody, welcome to Show Some Huss. I am Leo, and I'm here with my good buddy Donny, and we are lamenting, I guess, about last night's loss to the Minnesota Timberwolves. Um, and we are done with the season. Donny, what are your thoughts after last night?
Oh man, I think we've used this phrase quite a bit after losses, and it's trade them all. Um, but that also subsides slightly
Yeah,
after a few
yeah,
hours. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, but it game sevens, that's why they're so fun. They can go any which way.
mhm.
It adds like a level of March Madness to it, where with the best players on the planet, right? So I think it just sucked. It sucked because of the way it happened, right?
Yeah,
You're up 20, you lose by 8. Um, but again, you look at the beginning of that series, I think we were pretty dang lucky to be in a game 7.
yeah, you're exactly right, man. There were after those first two games, we were just hoping to win one, and then we go on to win the next three.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So
was it was a just strange series, especially seeing as each team only won one home game each.
yeah,
Um, it's just so strange, but I'd like to congratulate the Minnesota Timberwolves on winning the 2023-2024 NBA championship.
yeah.
Uh, and if you know what, people can say I'm crazy. Winner of that series wins the title.
Oh yeah.
Those
No,
are the
man.
I don't care about the Celtics. I do not care about the Mavericks.
I don't think that's a hot take at all. I think that is spot on.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the Celtics, I mean, especially without Porzingis. Um, and I love Luca and the Mavs, but they're just too young at the big man position.
Hmm.
Derek Lively's gonna get there, but um, and yeah, the Pacers, I don't see that working out. But
Yeah.
hey, I hope they beat the Celtics. I want the Pacers and the Timbies in
Yeah.
the finals. That's what I'd like to see.
That'd be a pretty cool matchup. I think uh and I don't know, man. We've been talking back and forth for the last 24 hours. Um, how did we lose that game? Because I felt like we lost that. I felt like they won that game just as equally as we lost that game.
Yeah, agreed. Um, Adjustments at halftime
Hmm.
and timeouts. Major adjustments I think were made at halftime. They didn't come out of half, firing. I think we held the lead at 20 for the first 4 or 5 minutes. Is that right?
Hmm.
Um, and then man, it just and maybe not maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it was I truly felt when Rudy hit that turnaround, I was like, uh-oh. Because and he's also shooting what 110% from free throw line. That's
Yeah.
impossible. That's what it felt like, man. It felt like as soon as he touched it, it was going in. Uh, so it was a combination. I think you're exactly right, Donnie. We lost that as much as they won it. Rudy showed up, and he showed up in the second half because he was getting dominated in
Hmm.
the first half. Um, and then when we are not making threes and we continue to shoot threes, I don't know. I felt like there were, and we were hot for a little bit, but we went on a couple stretches where I was just like, why are we not working downhill? We have a lead.
Yeah.
Why do we need to shoot it from 45 feet?
Yeah. I think you look back to I think game 5 when we get it back home, we're tied up, we get that lead going into the third quarter, and then I mean, Joker, there's no coasting, there's no cruise control. It's just all gas, no brakes. And I mean, that's what got us that game 5 win. In this game, felt like we got a little cautious. kind of texting you about like some tactical things that just bothered me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I mean, there was like a lot of things that I have to say. However, you know, if these things were the way that I thought they should have been, am I saying that we would have won that game? I don't know. Maybe not, you know, maybe. I don't know. I don't think that there's like a big like a big glaring you know, obvious thing that says this is the reason we lost that game.
Yeah, agreed.
Um, I think I mean we finally got a 30 plus game from Murray. Um, and
Well,
and it was a hard earned 30. It wasn't as smooth as what we expect from him. So I I didn't feel like he to me he didn't play up to par in my opinion.
I
Um
felt like he played really well on one side of the ball,
yeah.
or on one
And
sorry, on one side of the floor.
yeah, and I think you and I talked about that how it continually got picked on um in big moments. And
I
Michael
truly
Port
think that was their offensive plan. Find whoever he is guarding and let him go to work.
yeah, and I mean it wasn't a terrible idea. They
It worked.
yeah, and I mean it's even funny because like going into that second half, Ant only had what, 8?
Yeah.
Something like
Or
that.
four.
Yeah, like single digit something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which, you know, if you look back at the rest of this series, that's I consider that a win.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, a lot of things are shaping up into to what needs to happen for us to get out of here and get to the Western Conference Finals. Um, but you know, I mean, I just had so many thoughts, man. I not just about this game, but about this season.
Mm-hmm.
I had a thought about that San Antonio game late in the season that we lost,
Last game of the season, right?
second to last, yeah.
Second to last. Yeah.
And there was just so many little things that just bothered me, you know. Uh, I I kind of told you I didn't like how we got away from Joker and AG bringing the ball up. Um,
Yeah.
I
That
mean,
was a good point. I wasn't even didn't even think about that.
I mean the Murray bringing it up, it's fine. He's a point guard. His handles aren't they're pretty good. You know, they're not Kyrie, but
No, no,
yeah,
but
I
um
I just felt like we struggled with that, especially in game 1 and 2,
mhm.
and that was a huge part. I thought a huge adjustment in game 3 through 5.
Yes.
Or yeah, and I'm like, why? And I could in my head think of at least 6 points they had off of picking his pocket for an easy bucket, and it might have been more. Um,
And those and it was a they seemed all back to back to back. Um
yeah, and
it
again,
was
these little things, I don't know if that would have, you know, got us the dub, but it would have helped.
yeah.
It's the little things sometimes,
No, but
man.
you're exactly right, especially with these two teams being so well matched
Mhm.
as far as offensive and defensive power.
Yeah.
I We have to find a solution for Jamal on defense. That's something we got to fix. Because we're leaving him out to dry, and other teams are able to hide their weaker defender.
Mhm.
So we just need to make that adjustment. I don't. I was telling you right before we got on. I'm like everyone's tradable except for Joker. Everyone. But I really don't. I don't think we make any changes in the starting lineup if we don't have to. Um, we need MPJ to grow. Um, and by grow I mean go to the basket more. Um, he's not a threat. When he's not shooting well, he doesn't score and he plays bad defense. So, um, I mean, like you said, man, these are small things, easy
Yeah.
things to fix.
I felt
But
like yeah, like I felt like we were one half away from a back-to-back title. I mean, obviously, you can call me arrogant, whatever. Um, but I feel like if we whoever wins this game, whoever wins that game, they're gonna win the title.
yeah,
So,
100%. I felt the same way with our series with the Suns last year.
oh yeah. Hmm.
I know we beat them in six, but you know, I felt like those were the two best teams.
Hmm. I agree. Um, uh,
This is just so frustrating.
yeah, dude. Like
Like,
I mean, I had so many things to say last night. And then I wake up this morning and I just realized there are a lot of them are like irrational. Uh, so I'm like,
we got to get Tim Conley back.
yeah, right. Like
I don't know what we do with. We got to find a bench.
dude,
We got to make changes there. Those are if we're making big changes, those are the big changes we got to make. And we don't. I'm not saying we have bad players on our team. This league does not have bad players. They're all good to some extent, but
which
I
is, I think you,
we gotta do better.
yeah. I mean, you got Vlatko Chanchar coming back.
Yep.
Um, and I kind of did a
Yep.
little research today on the cap and kind of what we can do. Uh, honestly, the biggest thing that we could do is what you're saying, and that's like a big blockbuster trade um, with one of the starting five. That's pretty much all we can do. We don't have a lot of money because we have three max guys.
Yeah.
So, like you said, we've invested in MPJ. We need him to play up to that max level. Um,
Yeah.
Joe,
Yeah. Sorry.
no, no, it's I just I'm not saying I want to trade him. But like even talking about it, I don't know if anyone would take on that contract for what they're getting.
With MPJ.
Yes. So like,
Yeah.
if I'm not someone who wants to trade him, I'm just saying for those who do want to trade him, it's not really about, you know, okay, well, this guy would be better. Yeah, maybe there are some guys that would be better. I don't think it would actually go through. No one is going to take on that contract for what they're getting.
For 17 points a game.
Yes. So yeah, I just think until that max is done, he is our guy. And so, we can sit here and bitch about it, or we can realize that we're in a championship window
Mm-hmm.
and keep fighting because this is who we have.
Yeah.
Um,
We've won it with this squad before. We need to get a stronger bench. And I think you're right. Getting Chanchar back will help immensely.
it'll help. I wanted to ask you, like, the Zeke Najee thing, just it's like a pit in my stomach.
Um, yeah, man. I think at this point I don't know. I would say trade him and eat some of the contract. Um, and open some things up elsewhere. But speaking on the trade, I don't want to trade a starter, but feel like if we are going to get rid of anyone, it'll be KCP or MPJ. I don't see how you could trade Aaron Gordon or Jamal,
No, I
and I'm not even going to say the last one because I never.
yeah,
Um,
that's yeah.
yeah, that's a Kobe, Tim Duncan status
Mhm.
already.
That
Um,
that man will finish his career
oh, there should be a statue up before he retires, maybe two. But anyway,
here.
um, man, like yeah, like you're exactly right. What are we? Are either of these players, or any of our players, as valuable as they seem to be without Nikola?
And that's a really good point,
Because
right?
he creates almost 100% of Michael Porter Jr.'s shots.
Mhm.
Michael Porter Jr. creates very little of his own. Um, and not that he had a big, I don't know, I haven't looked at his stats, but talking with Rocksteady today, he was saying, Bruce Brown dipped quite a bit, and he wasn't even a starter with us. So is it the Nikola effect where he makes you look better than you really are? And do teams see that and think that? Um, I mean, part of me hopes that that's true, but I
I th
also wonder,
I think it is, man. I think you look at AG. AG is a perfect example. He
yeah,
was only known for one thing, before he came here. And, you look at what we had to give up to now what we have received. I mean, we won that trade by a mile. I mean, I think Orlando has done pretty well with some picks, but
Is that all it
Nikola,
was picks?
no,
Do we?
Gary Harris.
Oh yeah,
There might
I
have been some
liked Gary
others.
Harris, but
Yeah.
we definitely won that trade so far.
Yeah. I mean, when you turn that into a championship, you win the trade.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was like, oh, we'll see how the
but
Wagner
uh,
brothers turn out, but
but here's the deal with like it's just like you're saying, man. Like we do not have success with these players without Nikola. If he's not on the team, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle understanding when they see he's a three-time MVP that is on par with Magic and Larry Bird, two names that even a non-basketball fan probably know, right?
Mhm.
Um, they just don't. I don't think they understand. It's the NBA has always, not always, but they really like to market around a guy or a couple
Mhm.
guys
Mhm.
and really kind of push like the idea of crossing a guy up, fade away, very Kobe-esque. It's almost
Yeah.
like it's a team sport, but really it's like singles tennis over here.
Yeah.
And
You don't sell team jerseys, you sell name jerseys.
correct. So like I don't understand. There is a whole aspect to this game that is team oriented. That didn't go away. That's just the NBA's marketing.
Yeah.
So Nikola's effect on how he makes other people so much better. Like, um, I don't think Christian Brown is as good elsewhere. I don't think Peyton Watson is as good elsewhere. I don't even think Jamal Murray is as good elsewhere.
I I think we could go through 14 dudes.
Yeah, every single dude on that team, dude, you and I would have looked better if we played with Nikola. Like,
Give me a contract.
yeah, right. Like, I, he just, and I know that's such a cliche of, oh, he makes his teammates better. Okay, well, throw out the cliche. This is actual in your face evidence.
Yeah.
That man not only can score himself, he can basically just put it a foot from the rim and AG will slam it down. And he did that consistently last year, all the way to a championship.
If
Um,
we're I feel like if we're shooting 40% from the field, Nicola's probably close to 10 assists.
mhm,
That
mhm.
and like the only time he does not hit double digits assists is when we're not scoring, when we can't make wide open threes.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, man, so like do we I don't think we
I don't think we,
it's got to be a perfect trade. It's got
yeah,
to be like something fell in our lap type of trade.
yeah, like
Otherwise I feel like we just keep working.
yeah, man, like this, as much as it would be fun that this was NBA 2K, which is messing with trades, right? Like, um, but it's not. And I think what we have is what we have. Is it Calvin Booth who said, I'll trade, or because they asked him about the bench this year, and he
Mm-hmm.
said, I'll give up going back to back to win 3 out of 6 to develop the bench. Now,
Dude, yeah.
I know, and this is my
Please
thing.
know that you did not win us that championship, Calvin.
Yes,
That was Tim Conley, bro.
100%.
So
I didn't like that comment because that's almost like he's trying to like make it seem okay we lost this year, right?
that's how I took it too.
Right? Like I understand, like, okay, let's say 6 years goes by, we do have 3 out of 6. Cool. Just because you said that does not mean that's why it happened.
Yeah,
Every, it's not like we're like, okay, let's go balls to the walls one year, next year, let's all rest. Balls to
yeah.
the wall, no, dude. That to me, it was a very weak statement.
Oh, 100%. Well, and my question is, Calvin, um, do you not think that the Timberwolves are going to develop?
Yeah.
Because they beat us this year, fair and square.
Mhm.
So if we develop and they develop and they're better than us, that means they're still going to be better than us next year. That's how that works. So I hate that comment, man. That's so like it's okay.
Yeah,
Mediocrity's fine.
right. Like I
We
think it's
expect to win.
if he like in 6 years again We just won our 3rd and 6. If he says it then, like, okay, that's why we didn't do that in year 2. Okay, cool.
I'll eat
No,
my words.
right? But here's the deal. You say that after the fact. You don't say that before the
Yeah.
fact.
Yeah.
You don't say that before the fact because you make it okay. You set the groundwork for, oh, a year lost is okay. I don't see it that way. Championship windows in the pro sports are so small nowadays, and a
Mhm.
lot of teams can go decades without having a single window.
We did it.
Yeah. Oh, right. We went what, like 4.5? I
I call
mean,
that childhood, young adolescence.
right? Like being a Browns fan, you know? I mean,
Oh, jeez. Oh,
like
man. Yeah.
there's just so much, there's no guarantees. And I felt like when he said that, he was almost like calming the nerves of Nuggets Nation. And now everyone's gonna think, oh, but it's okay, we'll get 3 out of 6. No, you every single year you battle.
Yeah.
I want 6 out of 6. If you get 3, I'll take that. But that shouldn't be like some primary goal. I don't know. It
You're
bothered
telling
me.
me Anthony Edwards isn't going to be better next year?
Dude, that's gonna be better for the next 10 years.
Get out of here. You're telling me that when Porzingis is healthy that those Celtics won't be lethal?
Right?
I don't
Like,
know, man. I don't know. I feel like we got to do something. We
and
got to
like,
do something because we
and
can't
you,
have Nikola play 45 minutes a game.
and that goes, to another
Does
thing. And I was gonna ask you if you wanted to do a full nother pod on this of talking about what we should do this off season. Because I mean, I think that would be a lot of fun. We
Oh,
could
we
talk
should.
about it now, but I mean, I was just gonna save it because like you're saying, man, we can't do a lot. Probably, we probably won't do a lot
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to trades or signings and stuff like that. However,
Mm-hmm.
other teams will, and other teams are going to get better. Luka Doncic is getting hungrier and hungrier every year.
And
You
Derek
know,
Lively is going to be good.
yes, like every team is improving and improving. We can't stay stagnant.
Yeah.
And so anyway, yeah, we'll do that. We'll do another pod. We'll do another
Let's do it,
pod
man.
soon about,
Love to.
we could talk about the season. We could talk about um upcoming season, off season, you know. I
Oh,
don't know.
yeah. What
But
would you do if you could go to Cancun?
yeah. But let's get out of here real quick. And
Let's do
then
it, man.
yeah, Nuggets Nation, we are so sorry. Do not blame me. I did not go to that game. Um, however, I feel like I should have at this point. Maybe could turn the tide. Who knows? But congratulations to Minnesota. You are the 2023-2024 NBA champions.
Yeah.
I feel terrible writing off the Mavs and probably the Celtics, but
I don't
uh,
feel terrible.
that's one heck of a team. All right, buddy. Can you remind the people?
Everyone, as always, please do not forget to show some us. We will be back. Those are the famous words of Coach Mike.